One of the coffee time treats in Germany I used to hand down in our bakeries was a Marzipan Wreath. Now, obviously I can't find that in Ireland, so I have to make it myself, and while I was at it I thought I'd make it a little better. How was that? So I used my enriched protein sourdough, adding a good bunch of protein already. You can find the recipe below, I will link it there. And then I fill it with a super moist and creamy almond paste marzipan mix that I enrich also with protein. Not that anyone will notice, but each slice has nearly 20 grams of protein. So how is that for an afternoon treat? And it is much easier to make than it looks, and I show you exactly how and all the tricks I used to make it easy. So let's make it. While your dough is in the fridge, make the filling by using the marzipan, ground almonds, protein powder and cinnamon if you're using it, a bit of egg and some cream. I use my food processor until it's really creamy. If you need a bit more cream, add that so you can spread it. Then use half the dough of the whole portion of the enriched dough and use half for something else. Roll it out on a floured surface until it's roughly 11 by 15 inches, well 30 by 40 centimeters anyway. I like to straighten my edges with a bench scraper and then measure it, but you don't need to measure it, you can eyeball it, that's completely fine. Then dollop your creamy almond mass all over the dough. When it's cold, that is really easy to work with. And then if you like, sprinkle some raisins over. I know the haters, I just love raisins. And now, you know this process from cinnamon rolls. You just start rolling your dough up into one big lock. And then you can knit it close a bit, but it's not too important because the seam side will be down. And now back into the fridge, otherwise you'll have a sticky mess on your hand when you do the next step, which is to slice the lock lengthwise. So you have two strands starting about 1 inch from the top, so you have a kind of fixed together piece, and then you lay them with the marzipan filling pointing up over each other until you have a complete twisted strand, and then transfer to your baking sheet and just lay the ends that are open over the closed one. Now it needs to rise for another 6 hours, and then you brush it with some egg wash and bake it after that for 20 minutes before you brush it with some apricot jam, and this will help the almond flakes stick. And then you bake it another 20 minutes and you have your perfect protein marzipan wreath.